Hello, Professor. My name is Tiprada Bergban. Today, I will present about my chemistry project that is to use nickel as a catalyst in the hydrogenation process of margarine. Firstly, let's talk about background of margarine. It was invented to be consumed in lower classes and military forces because of the lacking of animal fat from beef. So they have to substitute their food material by using vegetable oil that is called margarine nowadays. But because margarine is mostly made from vegetable oil that's full of unsaturated fatty acid, it affects margarine to have low melting point. That's not appropriate to some kinds of use. Hence, they have to hydrogenate this unsaturated fatty acid to become saturated fatty acid in order to make it have higher melting point. Next, I will explain about what hydrogenation process is. Hydrogenation is the process to add hydrogen atoms into unsaturated fatty acid so that the double bonds or triple bonds will be broken. And finally, we will get the saturated fatty acid. But normally, this reaction is hard to happen naturally. So we have to apply nickel as a catalyst to accelerate the reaction. And now I will explain about how a catalyst works. We will look at an uncatalyzed reaction first. You can see that in order to generate the product, the reaction has to overcome the activation energy. And the more the activation energy is, the more reaction rarely occurs. Therefore, a catalyst will have duty to decrease this energy barrier, and it will affect the reaction to proceed more easily. And this is how it can optimize the reaction. Next, we will talk about the most important part, about how nickel can be applied as a catalyst in hydrogenation process. Firstly, we will disperse both hydrogen gas and pieces of nickel in liquid oil. Let's look closely at the nickel surface. Nickel will absorb hydrogen gas to its surface and break down bonds of hydrogen gas. After that, it will form new bonds between nickel and hydrogen atoms. For reaction with unsaturated fatty acid, it goes the same way as hydrogen gas. But this time, it will break down the pi bond between carbon atoms and form new bonds between nickel and carbon atoms. Then, nickel will allow hydrogen and carbon atoms to diffuse their electron cloud to form new bonds between hydrogen and carbon atoms. When the bonds are formed completely, this new compound will isolate from the nickel surface, and finally, we will get saturated fatty acid. And that's how it works. To conclude everything, I will talk about a catalyst first. A catalyst is used worldwide because it can cause a lot of benefit to our daily life. The first thing, it can stimulate a reaction to proceed more effectively. That leads to benefit for an industry to be able to lower their costs and gain more profit. Margarine is one of the food products that's used worldwide in food industries, especially for dessert industries, and also in our households too. But because its some natural property is inappropriate, so we have to hydrogenate it in order to adjust its property. But to let the hydrogenation reaction happen naturally isn't enough to satisfy humans' demand. Therefore, to use nickel as a catalyst is the best solution for this problem. And these are my references. Thank you for your attention.